Okay. We begin.
Just to remind you that
Uh,
you are recording now. Okay, thank you, sir.
okay. We are going to start the session with recitation of Al-Fatiha. Amin, 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 ya rabbal alamin. Okay. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank you, to all of the departmental member for joining the session, as well as to all for the registered student under the PSYC 4994, and those who are still at the manual stage of the registration. This is your graduating semester, or this is your final semester. The department is in a range of admitting those who are available, those who are been those who are at the graduating level to be enrolled at the PSYC 499 Okay, so the flow for today's briefing, we do start the briefing with Dr. Jus first as the introductory part, and then I'm going to touch a little bit on the technicality part on the assessment matter, and last one there will be a Q&A session. Okay, so I think without further ado, we can start the first part with the introductory from the Dr. Jus on what is the PSYC 4994, the final project, especially for the psychology student. Yes, Dr. Jus.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. I hope everyone can hear me clear. Right, so welcome to this briefing for final year project site 4994. Okay, saya tanya, jawab If I ask question, please answer me. Macam kelas pula. Okay, alright. Do you guys realize what final year project is? Who knows? Who have any idea what final year project is? Tak ada orang
Brother Idham, just to confirm, everyone is unmute kan?
Yes, yes. Everyone is on
Diorang,
mute. Unless co-host.
Oh, okay. Jadi kalau saya tanya, sepatutnya diorang boleh jawab lah, Idham.
Tak,
So,
tak, tak, dia orang akan jawab last masa Q&A
Okay.
tu.
Tak apalah kalau macam tu. Alright. So, these are our agenda. Jangan gelak. These are our agenda. Practically, I'll be introducing what Site 4994 is. We'll look into the course outline, and then I'll say a little bit about the academic dishonesty, and then the remaining, actually, I think Karimi will take over. All right, he will be delivering on the assessment that we have decided on the FYP, the important dates, which I would like all of you to pay attention to. And then lastly, we'll discuss about the first week meeting. So we are entering into the new semester, semester 2, 2020-2021, this coming 1st of March. All right, so within that first week, all supervisors, FYP supervisors will be arranging their first supervisory meeting with you guys, introducing themselves to you, introducing the nature of FYP, all sorts of things. So it's pertinent upon all of you to attend the first week meeting. All right, I cannot stress more. It is very much pertinent for you to be able to be ready from the very beginning, and it starts with you attending the first week meeting. Okay, all right, so let's see what we have here. Tekan Karim. Okay. All right, so this is introducing the final year project kan. So you tadi jawab tadi kan. Okay, so Site 4994 altogether, if I'm not mistaken, we have 20 sections. All right, 20 sections of students whom I assume are graduating, meaning that this is your final semester. For those people who are not in your final semester, please declare. Okay, please declare. I will know what to do with you guys. Okay. All right, so first of all, this final year project is a requirement from the Malaysian Qualification Agency, right? This is the body that somehow deliver or assure the accreditation of our program offered at the university level. Okay, so in MQA, specifically the discipline of psychology has a specific standard. All right, so in the standard, it is stated that it is compulsory for any program service provider to program a degree in psychology to make it compulsory, a component of independent research. Right, independent research, full swing independent research to be included as one of the element in the program. Hence, we define it as FYP final year project. Okay, so that is a this course is actually a compulsory course required in order for you to complete the whole program. Okay, so for FYP final year project, it is being assigned 6 credit hours. And I hope you, as of this juncture, right, going to graduate, hopefully you do understand what does it mean by 6 credit hours course. All right, you get an A, you excel, definitely. You get a C, kira sendirilah. Okay, so it's a 6 credit hours course. It's going to be held within only one semester, right? Within only one semester. So within the semester, you're supposed to prepare your proposal. Your proposal is supposed to be accepted by your supervisor, and you'll be doing data collection. You'll be doing data analysis and writing up all the findings, and conclude your research. All right. So that's the whole process that you have to go through. All right. So you will be working under the supervision of an academic. Each one of you will be assigned a supervisor. All right, who's in section 9? Your supervisor is me. Okay. All right. So definitely in this sense, what is required out of you when you register for this final year project, you have to independently run the research project supervised by your supervisor. Of course lah, supervised by your supervisor. Right. All right, for your information, final year project is a form of capstone learning experience. Faham ke tidak capstone? Okay, capstone. Now I'm going to say something along the line of capstone learning. Capstone learning is a form of learning that somehow will assess what you have learned so far in terms of knowledge, what skill you have acquired so far, the skills needed in academic world. For example, the skills of doing research, conducting research, the skill of statistically analyzing your data and reporting the analysis of the data, right? So those are examples of skills. All right. So when we talk about the accumulation of knowledge, so you have to understand whatever you have learned before from the beginning of your semester, your first semester here, first semester, all right, will be somehow utilized in completing your final year project. A little bit of your understanding of basic psychology, for example, will come in handy. All right, a lot of understanding in terms of research methodology will come in very, very handy. All right, and definitely understanding, a whole lot of understanding of statistics will come in super duper handy. Okay, all right, so that is capstone learning, whereby things that you have learned before will be consolidated in order for you to be able to complete that full swing independent research project. Okay, all right, so if you because you are getting old, all right, you forgot about what you have learned in research methodology, in statistic, in psychometric. Hello, psychometric. All right. So please make sure that you have you will have all those books, right? Apart from these technical courses, all right. Your books on social psychology, for example, will come in handy if you are doing something along the line. All right, your clinical book, for example, will be handy if you are conducting, if you are imagining yourself conducting a clinical based research, for example. Right, so you have to reflect back and make use of all the information they have learned so far. All right, and also you have to make use of the skills, academic based skills, technical based skills in terms of research methodology, statistics, and psychological assessment. All right, to be fully used in completing your project. All right, in FYP. So that is capstone learning experience. So you really have to sort of like capitalize your capability, your knowledge that you have learned all this while, right? If not, you are unable to complete the project. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's why the next item that you see here, Karimi, tunjuk sekejap dekat sini. A form of an ultimate assessment of your overall 4 years academic learning credibility. Right. So you have to consolidate what you have learned before, use it here in final year project. Right. So practically what you are doing actually is kind of a synthesis. All right. Synthesis of the psychological knowledge that you have acquired so far. All right. Combined with the technical skills. All right. So technical skills somehow here is reflective of your methodological skills. All right, methodological understanding. All right, research method is very important. Statistic, super duper important. All right, psychometric, very important. Okay, so it's a synthesis of your technical skills as well as your understanding of various psychological subjects which are relevant in the area that you wish to carry out the project. Okay. Right, so practically this is final year project. It's a serious project. It's not similar. It is unlike your final report in experimental psychology. No, it's much bigger than that. And the best part is you're doing it alone. Okay, you're doing it alone independently. So you have to think of whether or not the analysis, statistical analysis that you have in mind is suitable, all right, with the data that you have, for example. So that requires you to reflect back what you have learned in statistic class. Okay, all right. So introducing final year project. Okay, next. Course outline. Okay. Now, so this is the course outline. The course outline will be given to you. It will be embedded. It will be in the FYP or final year project guideline. That's a manual that we prepared. Okay, that's a manual that we prepared for you. Everything that you have to use to complete this subject, all right, will be deliberated in the manual. Okay, so one of it is inclusive of the course outline. Okay, so now very important is for you to understand what is the learning outcome stipulated for final year project. Okay, the first one is evaluate. All right, so evaluate. Evaluate is actually the highest. If you look into the Bloom's taxonomy of learning, evaluate actually is the highest level, then. Is the highest level, all right? Is the highest level. So what do you evaluate? So you have to evaluate the psychological theories. You have to look into the methods, all right? And as well as the element of application when searching and reviewing psychological literature. All right, so definitely you have to be involved in reviewing literature, all right? When you want to conduct a research, understandably, you have to review the literature. So that's what you are going to do. When you are reviewing the literature, you will definitely evaluate a whole lot of psychological theories. You will evaluate the suitability of certain methods, certain research designs, all right, to see their suitability with your intended research area. Okay, reviewing psychological literature and when collecting, analyzing, and interpreting psychological data. All right, so it takes you to have that critical, analytical thinking skills to be able to do evaluation. All right, so that is actually the highest level. So this is actually the level usually designated to capstone learning experience or capstone-based subjects. All right, so second is this is your psychomotor outcome. The second, revise series of drafts based on APA style before producing the final draft of a research report. Right, so there will be stages stages that you have to embark on in order to complete the project. And these stages will involve you drafting your document. All right, so you have to submit the first draft. Your supervisor will be scrutinizing them and giving you feedback, and you will have to act upon the feedback, make necessary changes or correction, right? And then you go to second draft, right? Blah, 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 and then the final draft, okay? So your marks will be given on your final draft, right? So when you are drafting, when you are revising the drafts, it takes you, again, your technical understanding, all right, technical understanding of conducting research, knowledge wise, all right, you have to be comparing the findings of your research with the finding of previous research in similar area. For example, comparing why you got A and the other research, although it is being conducted on similar variables or on the different popular samples, all right, the outcome is similar or the outcome is different. All right. So while revising, you have to again evaluate things, evaluate the information contained or depicted by your research. Okay, so that is the psychomotor learning outcome. Lastly is the affective learning outcome. Right. This is actually in regards with values that you need to learn while completing the project. Okay, so the third course learning outcome is displaying scientific ways in writing and presenting research ideas. Understandably, you guys have learned this from the very beginning in Introduction to Psychology. Psychology is a scientific-based discipline. All right, so you guys need to emulate this scientificism value in you. While conducting research, you have to abide by certain research ethics, for example. Okay, so that will be embedded in the third learning outcome, displaying scientific ways in writing and presenting research ideas. Scientific ways in writing, definitely. There are certain principles of APA referencing, citation, for example, that we have to follow, as well as certain ethical conduct when collecting data. So that's why one of the requirement in final year project is for you to submit an ethics form, and that ethics form will be reviewed by the FYP committee members, all right, to ascertain whether or not your research entail a very ethical conduct towards data collection, as well as towards the respondents, as well as towards the discipline itself, the area that you are conducting research on. Okay. All right, so those are the course learning outcome. All right, taking into, nanti set tu 10 jam tu, nanti set. Sabar kali ni, sabar. Okay, taking into consideration, if you really work hard and really take into consideration every single minutes of your life, every single valuable minutes or seconds of your life. All right, it is stated in the learning out. No, in the course outline. The face-to-face hours that you should be enjoying. All right, enjoying the face-to-face hours with your supervisor is just 10 hours. Okay, so divulge yourself in that 10 hours. That's when you can see the face of your supervisor. All right, and then your self-learning hours. See how much does it accumulate? Your self-learning hours. Make sure you complete this 230 hours. All right, 230 hours. You have to complete and be honest to yourself. Assign these 230 hours along the 14 weeks of this coming semester 2 in order for you to be able to complete the task given to you in this course. All right, just very little of the whole hours within 1 year. All right, just 230 hours. If you use these 230 hours, the fact that you have to complete these 230 hours of work within 14 weeks, right? If you really work every single minute, right, within 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, until 10, you will complete your research actually. Itu perkiraan Brother Karimi ya. Kalau if you really do it, but it's it kind of this is just actually pulling your leg, telling you actually it has to be spent across that 14 weeks, but you have to be responsible by allowing you to really steadfastly hold on this effort, 230 hours across 14 weeks. All right, across 14 weeks. Okay, I mean, not that much hours actually, 230 hours. Just if you accumulate it within 1 day, 2 days, and everything, you get it within 10 days. All right. But the process is actually quite lengthy. All right. Okay. So that's it with the course outline, and then next. Okay. Let's talk about academic dishonesty. So at the end of the day, what required out of you, the output or the product of final year project is a report, full-fledged report, if it is being done in a very rigorous manner, right? And it embeds in it all the needed scientific element, right? If it is being judged or evaluated as um, academically acceptable, all right, the outcome or the product of final year project is actually can be considered as an article that can be submitted to journal, right? So that is the product or the outcome of final year project. Okay, so since the outcome is a piece of document, um, a result of a full string scientific and rigorous academic work. So definitely issues of plagiarism, issues of whether or not you are ethical in collecting your data will be some of the major, all right, concern, all right, some of the major concern within the context of academic work. So I'm going to say something about this academic dishonesty. And I know you guys are very much familiar with the issue of plagiarism. Okay, the issue of plagiarism, you are using other people's work without properly without properly referencing properly referencing them. Okay, so academic dishonesty within the context of final year project, because this is a serious thing when it comes to final year project. So academic dishonesties are governed by these two documents, all right, legally binding document that we have in our university. The first one is student SAPIR, all right, SAPIR. I hope you guys are familiar with SAPIR. So this is actually a rules and regulation on the assessment, all right, on the assessment given to students in this university. Okay, so based on SAPIR 2015, as well as the Students Disciplinary Rules 2004. Right, in SAPIR, you can check this. You can get SAPIR online. In part 1, policy and procedure on academic integrity and honesty. Okay, under the academic dishonesty subheading, clause 4 to page 70. So you can refer all of this. All right, should you are found, all right, to exhibit the element of academic dishonesty, there will be repercussion. All right, there will be repercussion. Definitely the repercussion is very much will be evident in your grades. All right, in your grades. Okay, so these academic performance evaluations appear as well as Students Disciplinary Rules 2004. So these are the legally binding document upon you as formally registered students in International Islamic University. Okay, all right, so academic dishonesty is a real issue. Before you submit your final draft, you will be required to run through your work in a plagiarism check software. All right, so there will be certain percentages of similarities that is acceptable, but if you go beyond that stipulated percentages, so there will be repercussions in terms of the assignment of marks to your work. Okay, so this is very serious, and I hope you take it seriously from the very beginning. All right, from day one, the first meeting with your supervisor. Okay, I'm done with this. I think, Karimi, should I cover this, or you will be taking this up? Karimi, where are you?
Dr. Jusa.
Okay, all right. So this is actually based on the plagiarism software check. Okay, so the rule that we are going to use Um, so if you we are using specific software, the software is known as Turnitin. All right, Turnitin. So when you subject your academic work to this Turnitin check, right? So you'll be given this kind of color color coded color coded percentages. Color coded percentages. If you got it blue, meaning that you're
Match.
good. All right, you're good. No matching text. All right, if you're green, green is referring to 24% of similarities, right?
Below 24,
Below 24% of similarities.
which
Okay.
is the acceptable percentage.
This is actually acceptable percentage. If you get the green and it is stated there, it is below 24%. So we are going to use this color coding element of similarities to determine whether or not there will be repercussion of deduction of marks to you. Okay. Right. So if you get green, less than 24% of similarities, less than 24% of similarities, meaning that, sometimes when we write certain words or certain phrases or statements, is actually similar to other researchers writing their findings or writing about their research. Okay, so that is what meant by similarity check. Okay. Right. So if green less than 24%, no marks will be deducted. Okay, yellow. If you get yellow, similarity index, your gain is within 25 to 49%. All right, 25 to 49%, 10 marks will be deducted. Right, orange, 50 to 74% of similarities, meaning almost like copy paste. All right, almost like copy paste. So 20 marks will be deducted. Red, 75 to 100% similarities, definitely 50 marks will be deducted. Okay, 50 marks will be deducted. Okay, so that is the repercussion of you performing any types of academic dishonesty under SAPIR's regulation, as well as the students' discipline rules of IIUM. So these are the repercussion, and it goes back to your marks. All right, and it will affect your grades. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you so much. I pass the floor back to Karimi.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dismawati, for the introductory part of the what is PSYC 499 for. So I do hope everyone get the clear picture on the what part. Okay, now we are moving to the assessment part. Okay, so basically for this semester, okay, there are same format as what the course that you have. There are 100% allocation of mark, and this 100% is divided into two parts. Okay, the first 20% is some sort like coming from your proposal part. Okay, and there are two category of your proposal, and the next 80%, which is the big chunk of mark, is coming from your final report. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of focus on the first 20%, and this is the agreed date that have been decided by the committee. And the first part of your 10% is you are going to have your research guideline, and this research guideline can be found in your FYP manual soon that are going to be shared with you in the Appendix E. Okay, so this, when you are fill up all of the research proposal guideline, you will be some sort of like access, okay, your first 10% based on the guideline, and this assessment will be done by the others lecturers or the other supervisor, not your supervisor. Sooner I will put the pad section, so you are going to some sort of see who are your the PAT supervisor that will be evaluate your first 10% of your research proposal guideline. And the due date, okay, the submission date for the Appendix E is on the week 4, which is on 23rd March 2020. So this is your first 10% of your assessment. Your second 10% of your assessment, okay, once you are receive the feedbacks, okay, from your Appendix E, from your research proposal guideline, then you are going to revise your proposal, your written proposal, your written research proposal, and this need to be submitted to the supervisor on the next following weeks, which is in the week 5. And your supervisor will access, we do the evaluation, we do the assessment on this particular 10% of your the whole allocation mark of PSYC 49994. Okay, so with that, you are going to see something like your CAM lah. Okay, you are going to see your CAM assessment. Okay, the first 20% in your CAM in your student system. Okay, however, on the other 80%, this will be treated as your final report, and perhaps that the grade as the mark report will be not being shared with the student, even though after they complete the course in the next coming semester. But okay, if you like to like to further working with your supervisor in publishing the article, that could be the other way. But you cannot request the mark report directly from your supervisor because it is being treated as the confidential document. And this final report need to be submitted also to your supervisor. Okay, the submission date is on the 18th June, which is on the first week of your exam period. Okay, so try to check the revised academic calendar. Make sure you do tick this particular 3 important dates. Okay, throughout for this particular course, your final year project. Okay. We will go for each of the assessment. Okay, for the research guideline, okay, the committee agreed in order to put a standard up to only 4 page, okay, up to only 4 page of your write up, okay, and this particular write up is not in the paragraph form, it is in a point form, it is in a very summarized form, so the assessor can easily understood what is your proposal, what is your research is all about. Okay, so the submission date is, oh, perhaps that this some mistaken here, it should be 23, 23, and perhaps that you need to submit to your supervisor, and then your supervisor will compile all of your document and submit it to the assessor. Okay, and after that, the assessor, okay, which is the other supervisor from the other section, will give the written feedbacks, okay, by email to the supervisor, okay, on the same week. On the same week, we are giving them about three days to complete the document, and after that, you are going to revise your the other 10% of your research proposal, which need to be submitted by the next following week, which is in the week 5. And this submission is only to your supervisor, and perhaps that we are going to share with you the research proposal template. So everyone will have a standardized part or a standardized document when they are working with their research proposal. Okay, and the final part, which is the big chunk of your assessment, which is your 80% of your assessment, is the submission of your final report, and this is on also need to be submitted to your supervisor only, and he or she will be do the assessment part. And perhaps that we are not going to use the chapterization format, which is we're not going to use the chapter 1, 2, or 3, but we are using the research article format. Okay, same goes with the proposal. The template will be shared with the students soon. Okay, on the next part will be on the something like the whole phase. Okay, the whole timeline of your FYP for this semester. Okay, today we do start with the briefing. Okay, and then the next following 2 weeks will be a week 1 of your supervisory session. I will share with you the document for each of the section. Perhaps that since we are still at the RTL condition, all of the meeting, all of the supervision will be done by online. Okay. And then the next phase is to submit your research guideline, the Appendix E, and then you are going to receive your feedbacks. Okay, and once you are being receiving the feedbacks, you do some some correction from that. At the same time, you need to submit the ethical form. Okay, what does the ethical forms mean? You are going to obtain, okay, the approval from the committee, okay, to collect or to start your data collection. Okay, and during the same week, okay, the same week, you need to submit to your supervisor the revised written research proposal, which is will be carried out the other 10 percent. And the FYP committee we do have the meeting in order to approve everyone the ethical form. Okay, ethical form. Perhaps that by letters, if you doesn't have any particular issue on the ethical form, perhaps that the next following week, which is on the Monday, week 6, you can start with the data collection, and at the same time, you are going to start your write up. Okay, do not wait until the data collection is finished, then you're going to start the write up. Okay, you can slowly continue, you can slowly add up the literature, you can slowly improve your method part, your introduction part while you are doing your data collection. Okay, so this is about quite a long week. There are 8 weeks, and perhaps that some of you may complete the data collection earlier. Then you can submit, okay, a number of drafts to your supervisor in order to check. And lastly, the last timeline is on the submission of the final report to the supervisor, which is on the 18 June. And this is under the week 15, or is equivalent to the first week of the examination. So do discuss well, okay, and meet the supervisor regularly in order to have a good progress in the FYP. Because we do have the case, the student that doesn't meet in the first meeting, okay, and the rest of the flow, the rest of the progress is zero, is nothing. And due to that particular case, this student, okay, that particular student, okay, need to repeat the course again. Okay, need to repeat the course again, and particularly in your transcript, okay, while you are getting the fail grade for your FYP, something wrong. Okay, if you do apply for employment, you do apply for any particular work, having a fail grade at your transcript for your final project is something. Okay, so do think about it, plan accordingly your progress starting from the first week of the semester until the final week of the semester. Okay, and the next part will be on the first meeting. Okay, the students should read and plan on their own project that fit with the supervisor interest. Okay, perhaps that, okay, you can see the supervisor interest based on the departmental block. Okay, each one of them has been uploaded what are the research interests, or perhaps that you can email. Okay, you can email the supervisor in order to see what are the latest, okay, what are the current research project that the supervisor embark with, so that you can work with the supervisor in order to continue that particular project. And during the first meeting also, okay, the committee encourage, okay, the student in order to provide a simple one-page ideas. Okay, when you are meet with your supervisor, so you do have something, and not there is no template for this particular one page. You can write whatever you want, you can write in whatever format that you want. At least you do have something to be presented with your supervisor on that particular first day meeting. So tak adalah apa, you go for the first meeting with zero knowledge or with zero ideas on the FYP project or on the FYP work. So do prepare at least one page of proposal or at least one page of writing while you are meeting with your supervisor. Later I will share with you the detail of the meeting. And on the last note, okay, I would like to remind, okay, to update your working email in your student system, okay, which is either iTalim or the iMaklum. Okay, and please bear in mind that use the professional email. Okay, because before this you are in the fourth year of your study, perhaps that there should be no issue in creating the one professional email to be used and in submitting your assignment or later on when you are applying for the job. Okay. Do not use this particular example at gmail.com, saya cantik at yahoo.com, kucing191 at hotmail.com. So these are unprofessional email that we lecturer keep receiving, okay, even though you are in the fourth year of study. So do create a professional email, okay, so everyone can something like know you, okay, and you are being trained in order to be a working adult soon. Okay, so hence by updating your working email in your student system, so the lecturers, the supervisor can directly contact you when it needed. So please do so. Okay, perhaps that everyone is having the live rium.edu email. If you do not use that particular email, so do update your Gmail, do update your Yahoo or etc. Okay, so I think that's it for my side. I will stop sharing for a while. I'm going to share with you the document for the first week meeting. Okay, so this is the whole section. Okay, this is the whole section for each section. Perhaps that there are different timeline. Okay, there are different timeline, but the meeting will be done in the week one. Okay, the document will be shared to the site staff soon, and the site staff will share in your cohort, in your WhatsApp cohort, because we do not want the extra person to be entered in your first week meeting. So we are govern the link very secure. Perhaps that you can get the file through the site staff via the WhatsApp cohort group. Okay. So everyone is here. There are 20 section for your for this PSYC 4994 semester 2. And on the second point is, okay, this is the FYP guideline. Okay, this is the FYP guideline. Everything is here. Okay, everything is in the guideline. The document will be shared with you by next week. We'll updating the new version of the guideline, especially on the academic dishonesty part. Okay, and then please read. Okay, please read the whole document accordingly. Okay, what is the FYP, etc., the supervisory thesis, and the topic selection, etc. And there are also the important date, which is similar. What do we have in our briefing? And in the last document, you are going to have your something like a number of appendix. Okay, amount of appendix. This could be printed or you can copy and paste from the document. We are going to share with you two versions. The first one is the PDF version and the second one is the Word version. Let's say you are meeting with your supervisor during the first week or during the second week. Okay, do fill up the appendix C, because this will keep track your progress. Okay, what need to be done for the current meeting, what are going to be done for the next meeting. So these are the things that will keep track you on the progress of your final year project. Okay. And in the appendix D, okay, the appendix D will be on the article form. There are quite a number of pages of the article form, but you need to fill up this and get the sign from your supervisor. Okay, the sign from your supervisor before you do submit the document to the mentioned email. Okay, you need to submit to the document. Do not email directly to me or do not email directly to Dr. Jus, because we are using one standardized email for everyone in order to make the FYP committee easier to keep track the whole document. And then the next part will be on your appendix E, your research guideline. This is what I did mean by the up to the 4 page. Okay, everything is here. You just put, you just do the editing and make sure it need to be checked with your supervisor. Double check. You do have about 4 weeks in order to complete the whole appendix E ni. So the 3 weeks to 4 weeks is much more sufficient in order to complete, and you are going to receive the feedbacks from the assessor, and then again you are going to improve in your written research proposal. Okay, and the rest of the document is the rubrics. Okay, and last one is, okay, on the last page is the declaration form. Okay, this declaration form need to be submitted once you are did submit your final report. The same principle apply when you are submitting your take home examination too. So I think that's it from my sharing, and we are going to go for the Q&A session.
If I may say something, Karimi,
Yes, please.
this is about the ethics form. If you look at the very end of the ethics form, there is a space whereby you need to acquire the signature of your supervisor. All right. So most of the time it tends to be that students tend to sort of like skip this one. Okay. You have to have your signature there, and you have to have your signature of your supervisor, meaning that your supervisor will go through your ethics form just to ascertain that you had done it properly. Right. So this is very important. Do not submit your ethics form without the signature of your supervisor. Right? Please take that into serious consideration. All right? We don't want you to be submitting any work without your supervisor knowing. All right? Without your supervisor knowing it. Okay? All right. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think we go for the Q&A session. Brother Idham, I think we can unmute the participant kan?
Done.
Done, okay. Okay, do you have any question? Okay, let me check the chat board. Ada question ke tak? No, there is no question in the chat box.
Hello, test.
Test, yes. Introduce your
I have.
name. Introduce your
I
name.
am Anas Naufal.
Okay.
My question is for students who are coming back to the campus in March. So is the testing lab open to be used following SOP or such? So that's all. Thank you.
Introduce.
What was the question? Sorry.
Does the if the once the student being allowed to be enter the campus, does the testing lab is open to be used? Testing lab. That
I need to check that first because as of this while, facilities are not that open to students. But since the university is starting to allow students to come back to campus, perhaps there will be changes. Right. So whatever it is, I have to get back to you guys on that. Right. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other question, especially related to the FYP matter?
Okay, there's a question at the chat column. Where should the declaration form be placed in the final report? At the beginning of the report or in the appendix or elsewhere? Do we want it to be attached together with the report, or it can be like
Separate.
separate?
For my section previously, I did it as a separate as a separate document, because the student can copy, paste, and put it a single document for the declaration form too.
I think this goes back to what you agree with, what you will agree with your supervisor. right? So discuss with your supervisor what he or she required out of you. Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam.
My name is Nur Amira Huda. I have one question. Does the title of does the project needs to be related to the lecturer's research interest? Like, for example, Dr. Jamila is her research interest is based on clinical psychology, for example, and I should do my project based on her research interest.
Mm.
Should I do that, or?
Highly advisable in that sense. Okay. But it also depends on what you are able to negotiate with your supervisor. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it is advisable because final year project is a project that need to be supervised, right? So most of the time, the supervisors are expert in supervising research area within his or her research interest. Okay, so that's where the expertise will be. So it is advisable if you are assigned to a specific lecturer, highly advisable if you can somehow consider that. But that is not the ultimate decision, right? That is not the ultimate decision. Depending on how able are you to negotiate with your supervisor and how is she or he agreeable, all right, to the things that you are negotiating with him or her, right? So there will always be the avenue for you to negotiate or kind of request from your supervisor, right? But it is definitely highly advisable for you to do a research in relation or that has a close contact, a close connection to to the supervisor's area of expertise. All right. Issue is because of the expertise thingy. All right. Okay, but still, you definitely have the opportunity to negotiate.
So, like, if I were to do a project that doesn't relate it to my lecturer's research interest, will it be difficult?
I can't say much because it depends on the agreement of your supervisor. Yeah, it might be difficult for your lecturer if she is actually in one area and your research area is totally out of his or her area. Okay, but that does not mean that it is undoable, right? Negotiate with your supervisor.
Okay, then.
Right.
Okay. Do we have any other question?
Can supervisor ask?
Boleh lah.
I have a question, Dr. Jis.
Yeah.
Is there a limit for students to submit their draft? Because I have this problem at the beginning of the semester before where there's this particular student, they keep submitting draft. Even after the deadline for the final have passed, still submit draft. So I mean, like, it becomes hard for us.
Okay. For students, in Malay tolong faham bahasa supervisor cakap apa tolong faham. In English, please get to understand the instruction by your supervisor. Right. So understandably, you are already in your final year. All right. Intend to graduate. I think it is understandable for you that we are living in a condition whereby there must be a timeline. There must be a period of time that we have to sort of like honor. All right. Sort of like honor. Right. Yeah, I know your supervisors may be sweet, maybe by hati, maybe very much positive towards you, but he or she is also human being, right? Deadline, in other words, I'm saying that deadline is to be strictly abided. Okay, deadline is to be strictly abided. If your supervisor mentioned to you, I will be able to receive drafts from you up until certain date, you have to practically abide by it. Okay, all right.
Yeah. there is one question from the chat board. So there is no proposal presentation, right? Okay, if not mistaken, last semester they need to present to others. So for this semester, we did revise the assessment part. Okay, so if you are referring to the guideline from previous semester, you can delete the document and wait for the latest document which is applicable for your semester. So yes, there is no direct presentation to the other supervisor, but okay, the other supervisor will do the assessment in terms of the written document, which is they will evaluate your appendix D itu. Okay, so rather than watching the video 10-minute video, and perhaps that this semester we are going to focus more on the written part, on the written feedback. So is the outcome is still the same. Okay, we want to get the others opinion on our work, so you can improve, you can have a better research proposal. And
Okay,
the other
one
question is apa tu, can I know what is the average expected page for the final report?
baca dalam manual lah.
Uh,
Read from your manual.
read from
Right.
your number.
Stated
Okay,
there, clearly stated there.
it is calculated about 10k of word and at least 30 page of your write up. Okay,
Okay.
30 page of your write up.
Or in another measurement value, 10 kilogram.
Okay. Is there a final presentation? No, there is no final presentation. Your mark is coming from your final report. Okay, your 80% of your final report, which will be accessed by your supervisor. Okay, any other question from the chat board, or you can unmute the mic. Okay, if there is no other question, I think it's 11 o'clock now. So, Dr. Jus, okay, final remark before we do end the session.
Okay, please take seriously this subject. For one, it is assigned a 6 credit hours. So it is a platform for you to really test what have you learned so far, right, along your 4 years in IIM. So this is actually the platform that you are going to prove it, not to everyone, not to anybody, but to your own self, that indeed you have been learning all this while. Okay, so that is actually the responsibility on your part, right? Please be responsible to the time of your supervisor, to the expertise of your supervisor. Respect their time, right? If they say something, if they ask you to do things, follow through. They are your supervisor. They are going to do things so that you are going to be able to complete the task, all right? Listen to them, discuss with them, whatever it is. Please don't take final year project as easy as you think it is. All right, it is not easy. Okay, so but doable. As thus far, nobody died doing final year project, nor nobody died doing their master's degree or undergraduate degree as well as the PhD degree. Inshallah, all right, nobody will die unless it is the time for that person to die. Okay, so okay, so please take things seriously. Inshallah, believe in yourself. You have all the skills needed. You have all the knowledge needed, right? Believe in yourself. You have all those needed skills, knowledge to be able to complete this FYP journey, right? So take the time, be honest to yourself, be honest to the knowledge that you have been learning so far, right? Take these things seriously. Okay, so all the best to you. That's all from me. Thank you. To other supervisors, lecturers, young lecturers, supervisors, if you want to say anything, if you want to add up, all right, if you want to welcome people, please.
Can I say something, Dr. Juice?
Yes, please. Dr. Mariam.
Okay. Just a message to the students in section 2. I have arranged for a Google Meet on 1st of March, but then I'm not very sure whether all the seats are available or not during that time. So I appreciate if all the 6 students in section 2 to email me, okay, before week 1. Okay, to rearrange, or we need to discuss on whether what could be the best time for everyone, okay, during week 1. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mariam. Okay, any other supervisor or lecturers? Let me check the name. Miza.
I have contacted all my supervisees, but there are two who didn't respond. So, and also, I think one was a fake email. So, if possible, the students, if you didn't receive an email from me, contact me. I'm from section 19. Okay.
So thank you. So that's why we remind you guys to use the professional email, okay? And do contact your supervisor. And then the next in my list is Dr. Intan.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, Assalamualaikum to all students. Okay, my section is section 10. I hope those who are in my section will watch this video to get all the points. And if you get the chance to get the guideline before our meeting, which is on Wednesday at 1, you can check it on the schedule for the meeting, the one that will be shared by Sakstar, right? It'll be great. Okay, and I look forward to working with all of you on your projects.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you, Brother Karimi and Dr. Jismawati for good sharing. Thank you very much.
Okay, so next my list is Brother Syed. Done. Okay. Sister Nuraini.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To all my students in section 20, I will meet all of you very, very soon, inshallah. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, next one will be Sister Dr. Pamilia.
Thank you so much, Karimi and Dr. Jules. And I would really like to also encourage the students in my section to please check out when is our first meeting that's going to be scheduled. And I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Next one is Dr. Madiana.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to all. First of all, thank you so much, Dr. Jismawati and Brother Karimi, for your very comprehensive briefing. And welcome to my supervisees. I'm supervising section 4. I have set Monday at 1 p.m. for our first meeting. So I'm going to we are going to have a Telegram group. Yeah. So I think one of you can perhaps can start from a group. Yeah, from a Telegram group. I'm in the Telegram. Okay, and then please and then by from that group you can confirm whether you are able to make it or not. Yeah. So inshallah we okay, looking forward to work with you all right, to have a fruitful inshallah FYP project with all of you. Okay, all right, okay, take care. Okay, assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ma. Next one is Brother Haikal.
Okay, assalamualaikum to my student in section 17. I have sent you invitation to the first FYP meeting, so please check your email. And if you haven't received the invitation, please email me. And do remember to introduce yourself before you send me the email. So introduce yourself, who you are. And then I think that's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you, Brother Haikal. And next one is Dr. Diana.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone, to the staff and also the organizer and the students. Now, I have sent the invitation to my students and Alhamdulillah they have responded except for Muhammad Afiq Ashraf. Tolong respond dalam email and invitation because you gave me from the system you gave me Hotmail. I don't think you get the invitation. So please, make sure that everybody, not to the student, my students, and to all the other students, make sure that you use a working email, Gmail professional email. So this is very important. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Diana. And next one will be Sister Izzati.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Karimi and Dr. Jesmawati. And to all students, please update again your email address and your phone number. Make sure it's working, and we'll be contacting you soon. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it. Anyone else that I terlepas pandang ke? Tak ada. Okay. So I think that's it. That's it for our today briefing. We passed 10 minutes past 10. And if you do have any question, especially on the assessment method, then you can on the guideline method or on the any technical problem, you can directly email to me as well as Dr. Jules as the FYP committee for the department. Okay, and do make please make contact with your supervisor regularly, and please keep update all of your progress throughout the semester. So with that, I think I will end the session with the session of wala'as and tasbih kafarah. Okay, thank you so much, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.